Hello, Randy Callie. Why am I so giggly? I'm such a silly boy. This is a new filming spot and I don't like it, but we're gonna do it. Okay. I saw Devil Wears Prada 2. It was okay. Like, literally, there's no other adjective I can use besides, like, subpar. It was okay. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion. I thought it was kind of boring. There were moments where I was like, this is kind of boring. I didn't feel that in the first one. The first one is such a staple in my cinema experience growing up. Let's be honest, the first one is a classic. I would not even say the first one is one of my favorite movies. It's very good. However, it's not one of my favorites. It's not in like my top 10. I do like the girly movies, especially from the 2000s and the 90s. I like She's All That. I like Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, Clueless, all that crap. But let's be honest, the first one, pretty fucking memorable. There are pretty remarkable lines in that movie that we always quote and remember. That's all. Florals for spring, groundbreaking. I'm gonna hire the ugly fat girl. By all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. I would have to say it's Meryl Streep's most memorable role. Besides Death Becomes Her and Mamma Mia, I love all three of those movies, but I think Devil Wears Prada was the first movie I ever saw with Meryl Streep in it. I just watched The Devil Wears Prada on the last cruise that I took in January. I really was not bored. I can watch that movie over and over and over. That's how you know it's a good movie, when you can just see it multiple times. Okay, this is not me shitting on Devil Wears Prada 2. It was good. Like, it's cute, it's nostalgic. I mostly saw it for the nostalgia and just because I felt compelled to. I cannot exist on this earth and not see Devil Wears Prada 2. You feel me? Like, I love the first one to an extent. Like, love is a strong word, but I do appreciate the first one. I'm not gonna, like, go throughout my life not seeing the second one. I had to see it. There were just moments where I was like, okay, this seems a little long. I feel a little bored. I should not feel bored the first time viewing a movie. I've seen the first one 56 times. The second one, I was on the first viewing of it, and I was kind of bored at times. There are scenes that are really good. There are scenes that are boring. I knew I was gonna feel this way, though. When I saw the trailer, I wasn't even super excited to see this. I was like, I'm not gonna be super into it. It's also not horror, and that's like my main thing is horror. This is my daily video reminder that I always say horror, and it sounds like I'm saying horror. Let me say what I like about the second one. Okay, so I like that it's nostalgic. I like that the fashion is amazing. Like, they're really into the fashion in this one. However, there were a few misses. Miranda Priestley is supposed to be like Anna Wintour, right? Like, she's supposed to be the epitome of fashion. There is a scene where she's wearing a fucking fugly ass jacket. It's a long scene too where she's in this jacket. Not me being shady about a jacket when I'm wearing this like distressed denim jacket. I love this jacket personally. Maybe she likes the jacket in the movie, but I hated it. It was so ugly in my opinion. It had like tassels on it, like from a pillow. Or the entire jacket was covered in these tassels you would see on, I don't fucking know, a pillow is the first thing that comes to mind. I thought that was fashion suicide. But then again, fashion these days is really like over the top and weird. Like, it's shit that you normally wouldn't wear. I feel like they're like pushing that, like where it's like, oh my God, like look at this, it's crazy, right? So I felt like it was meant to be ironic, like this is so bad it's good. I don't know. Anyway, I did not like that jacket. You know exactly the one once you see the movie. I don't know what else I liked about it. I mean, I just like the style and some of the humor. However, it was not as funny as the first one at all. I also don't think they took the opportunity to come up with really iconic lines. Like, the first one had iconic lines in it. I don't think there's one memorable line in this movie. There is not one line in my brain right now that I can remember from that movie where I'm like, oh, I want to repeat that. That's so funny. Ha ha ha. Also, was it just me or Miranda seemed very out of it? I know she's older. This was 20 years later, but she just does not have the same bite as the first one. She's supposed to be a bitch and she's bitchy, but it's not the same. She's not as witty. She's not as comedic. She just seems really scatterbrained to me. Maybe I just didn't find the script as compelling as the first one. Like, I really didn't think the things that Miranda was saying was that interesting in comparison to the first one. Like, it shouldn't be worse. It should be better. She did not command my attention like she did in the first one. That's a problem. She should be commanding our attention. She is the royal bitch. She is the devil in The Devil Wears Prada. Then there's Nigel, the gay worker at the company. So I noticed Stanley Tucci was talking different the minute I heard him. I was like, why does he sound different? So I Googled it really fast. I found out in 2021 he had tongue cancer. So I'm no shade to him. He just sounded different. Like, that's terrible. I'm glad that he's okay now. I'm just saying that he did sound different to me, and I did clock it right away, and I was like, there's something off. But that's why. So he was kind of slurring a little bit. And like, he's older now. He's a 65-year-old man. So I was like, maybe his voice is just different. But I was like, no, there has to be something. So I'm glad I Googled it so I know. That way I'm not like judging something that I shouldn't be judging. Because I've seen comments online where people are like, what's wrong with his voice? It's like, he had cancer, for fuck's sake. Have a little empathy. God damn. Once I knew he had cancer, I totally understood. But I would say the one character that did not disappoint me was Emily, because she's bitchy as always and she just has the best lines. I would say she has the best commentary out of anybody in this movie. In this movie, she's working working at Dior. So I like the things that she's wearing. I like her hair. I like her makeup. At the end, she goes blonde. I really like that look too. I just like her overall vibe, and like the things she says is funny. I mean, sorry if you're sensitive to this word, but she's kind of a cunt. Like, she's more of a cunt than Miranda, in my opinion, but it's funny. Also, what the fuck was with the romance in this movie with Andy and this new guy? I mean, he was kind of adorable, but it just happened so fast, and I felt like they didn't have chemistry. Like, it just was too quick. And remember her boyfriend from the first one named Nate? I remember reading online that they were going to address it in the second one. I don't recall that. I must have missed it because I don't remember him being mentioned at all. But I felt like with those two, you could sense the chemistry in the first one. In this one, I don't know. It just happened too quickly, and I was like, wait, what? And then they have a fight randomly. I'm like, wait. At one point, they have a fight, and it just seems really weird and random. I'm like, wait, why are they fighting? Because she was being bitchy, but I was like, this is kind of weird. It feels forced. Like, there is a scene in the end where she's staring at Meryl Streep with like admiration and happiness on her face, and everything in the world is great. And then Meryl looks at her, and Meryl is like, do you need something else? And this was the perfect opportunity for Anne Hathaway to be like, no, that's all. But she says something else, and I was really disappointed. I was like, they should have used that line, god damn it. So yes, I found The Devil Wears Prada 2 to be somewhat tedious, somewhat disappointing. I think they missed opportunities they could have used in different ways, and they did not. I like the fashion, but not everybody's obsessed with fashion, you know what I mean? Like, not every person seeing this movie cares about fashion. They want the humor, they want the entertainment. If it's not bringing that, fashion is irrelevant. And people online have been asking, does Miranda have dementia? Because it really is giving that. Like, yes, I get it. She's supposed to be dismissive, and like, she only cares about herself. She doesn't give a fuck about anybody, but she's an older woman. She's like a 70-year-old woman. So when she's like, oh, I don't remember them, it's kind of giving like she can't remember things. Realistically, I think that they made this movie because they knew they were going to make a shit ton of money off of it, and they wanted to appease to the fans. Like, there's a lot of fans of this movie. I would say out of Anne Hathaway's career, this is her biggest movie, and then Princess Diaries. So they knew people wanted it, they knew people would pay for it, and they knew it's going to make a lot of money. So I feel like they didn't put as much effort into it as they could have. Maybe if they had made this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe it would have been better, honestly. Like, and the characters would have been younger. Not that that should matter, but I kind of feel like it did. So yeah, it's just kind of one of those movies that exists, and I'm probably not going to watch it that many times. I'll watch the first one. I'll watch it again because I want to see things that I missed, but I'm not going to watch it like 55 times. Like, to put it bluntly, it's just not interesting enough to watch it over and over and over. I'm probably going to watch it like 2 more times in my life, and that'll be the end of it. It's very similar to how I felt about Freakier Friday. I love Freaky Friday. I like Freaky Friday more than I like Devil Wears Prada. I thought Freakier Friday was kind of boring at times. I thought it was funny for the first like hour, and then it went downhill for me. This one overall just wasn't funny enough. So if you love it, I'm glad that you loved it. I did not love it. I just didn't. Like, it's not, I don't know. It was fine. I feel like I barely remember what happened in this movie. That's not good. I wish there was an iconic scene I could reflect on and mention in this video, but there's really not. The one scene that stands out in my mind is at the very end, Andy and Emily, they were always frenemies, right? So at the very end, they go to a restaurant and they kind of establish that they're actual friends now. I think it's a cute scene. I think it kind of ties it all together, and I think it's an endearing scene, but they could have made it cuter. Like, the lines in that also could have been cuter and more meaningful. It was meaningful to an extent, but I was like, come on, really go there. Like, really pull at my heartstrings, make me want to cry, but I did not cry. I read online someone cried from this movie. I was like, really? From what? Also, I want to segue into what I think of Anne Hathaway. So Anne Hathaway really rubs me the wrong way. I'm just saying, in every interview I see of her, I think she's literally acting. I'm just going to be honest. She seems very pretentious, very snobby to me. I think Anne Hathaway is a snob. Just saying. This is just my opinion. I think she thinks it's a privilege to be in the same room as her, for her to look at you as a privilege. I think when she's doing interviews, she likes to look at her co-star more than the interviewer. I think she subtly likes to make it clear, like, I'm the head bitch in this room, not you, and she doesn't really want to give you as much attention. I think she has her acting boots on because she's promoting a movie that she knows is one of the biggest movies in her career. Devil Wears Prada was huge for her career. This is the sequel. So of course she wants to look good in the interviews for people, so I do think at times she appears nice. I'm not saying she's a cold-hearted, horrible bitch. I'm not saying she's a demon from hell that's never nice. I'm just not convinced that she's as nice as she portrays in interviews. I think she's full of shit. I don't know what it is. I usually don't give a damn about celebrities like that. I'm usually like, okay, if they seem nice, I'll just take it for what it is. But I don't know, something with her, she just seems like she's putting on a facade. I don't think she's actually that nice. I think she has an ego the size of Texas. I think she thinks she's even better than Meryl Streep. I think she thinks she's the most amazing person in every room that she enters. I'm not kidding. That's just the vibe I get. I can't help it. I went to school with a lot of snobs. Their families had money. They were living in $1 million homes. I can tell a snob when I see one. But I do think she's pretty. I'll give her that. Like, she hasn't aged much in 20 years. She's in her 40s now. I think she looks really great. And I know people always say, oh, she had work done. She has all this money. Of course she had work done. Okay, but a lot of people have money and they still look like shit by the time they're 40. So there's a lot of people on this earth that have a lot of money and they don't know how to prevent aging, apparently, because they just don't age well. Like, and they're not even that old. I feel like the work that Emily Blunt has done on her face is more apparent to me than anything that Anne Hathaway has done to her face. But Emily Blunt looks great. I think she's also very pretty, and I like her more than I like Anne Hathaway. I'm just complimenting the fact that I think Anne Hathaway has had better work done, and maybe she's just aging. Maybe her genetics are better, and she's just aging better. And trust me, I know that 43 or whatever isn't that old. However, you're going to look different. Most people do look significantly different 20 years later. She does not, so I'll give her credit for that. I still think she's a snob. I could be completely wrong. It's really not that deep. I mean, she is a public figure. She's making millions of dollars every fucking time she's on screen. So in the grand scheme of things, my opinion does not matter. And that's kind of the trade-off. Like, okay, I'm going to act. I'm going to get millions of dollars and a lot of fame and a lot of power. And in turn, people are going to have their opinion about you. And this is my opinion. I just think she seems kind of bitchy. Okay, oh well. I mean, life goes on. There's plenty of bitches in the world. Trust me, it's nothing new. I also think I'm going based on some of her old interviews where it just kind of her vibe just seems a little like, oh my God, don't talk to me. There is an interview from Les Mis. I never watched Les Mis, but I saw the interview where she was kind of a bitch. And I was like, oh, okay, is this how this girl is? I don't know. It's one interview, but I did see other interviews where she's a little snippy. I'm like, okay, this is a pattern. So who the fuck am I to criticize Anne Hathaway? Because she's a big ass star. She's an A-list celebrity. Just saying, I don't care for her, but I will watch her movies. I don't mind. So yes, that was my opinion on Devil Wears Prada 2. I would say it was probably a 2.5 out of 5 for me. That's not terrible. That's like a 50%. I mean, technically that's like an F if you're taking a test on a grading scale, but like that's not what I mean. And the next movie that I'm going to see is definitely going to be scary, so thank God for that. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon.